Hello, this is Gamer 1745 here. And hello, Arno. He's the one who's already here and waiting. We're going to be playing Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice. Now, I was thinking of playing continuing my Hearts of Iron 4 game today, but, well, sleep or lack thereof. The world is changing. You may not notice it just yet, but there's big scandal happening, maybe multiple ones around Twitter. Supply transportation. So let's do this. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And just sort of up with that. Not new. Well, let's see. I don't know. You know about my one video on my new channel has gone to. I noticed today, waking up and checking things, to over 13,000 views. So that was really good. I need to do some more of that, working on that channel some more. Not maybe a whole lot other new with me. Just taking in the massive corruption that's been going on. That someday. I do know we have, no, not here. Bunch of these needing to be done. So we have Gibraltar. We're wishing to secure the fortress here. Any other attack, we now can supply in through to other places. So now we'll be able to follow Arno's very good suggestions of attacking some of these other islands. Now let's produce some more motor torpedo boats. Get them into production. Actually, let's go 12. I'll push that armor division out of production, but I think it's useful. We want to maybe a supply run into Tunis. Supply convoy, look for Washington, D.C. And let's look for Tunis. And because we're way over here, we want to also see about Tobruk. That'll get us some supplies into here at least. That then we can need to get reorganized. You. Yeah. They've just all been shot down. Transports over there. All the other been doing well enough in the air war. Not on Rumble. No, I'm still. You have to go in and upload a video, a little short clip of a video every time you're getting ready to go live. It's just a hassle, even if it's the same one over again. So I've just, you know, didn't do it this morning and getting ready and late and all, Arno. These guys here, how far over can they get? Their intercept. They can, okay, they can air intercept. An air intercept better than the transports can transfer. Well, not that big of a zone. Let's do that. Go. Oh man, we are doing very poorly here. Oh man, how did I lost these guys somehow? I've deployed them up here or something. Cowpens, Monterey, Langley, and I totally lost them. Meaning I forgot that they were here. They're just light carriers, so they only carry uh, one CAG. But yeah, I could have been using these. Oh man. Okay. Well, let me just confirm me. I think it is. Yeah, carry one. Okay. Now, do we have? We have CAGs ready to go here. So let's drop 3 here in Sacramento. They'll be each independent there. Okay. Now, no, not Doolittle. Doolittle's really good, but we need to use him as a bombing. Oh yeah, no, you're doing great, Arno. And always you can always ask me things like that because maybe I just intend it to be working and it's not, and then I need to know that and that type of thing. Like if you notice my sound is bad or something, let me know. There we go. Now, got 2 long range fighters. We're going to deploy those. Well, that might be an interesting idea for a night fighter, but no, this one clicking there. I don't know. Gamer's still asleep. Put them together. Not tank buster. We'll just do that. Okay, those 2 divisions, I believe, for the Pacific. Yeah. Not that they couldn't be used in the Atlantic, but let's. What do we have here? Oh, we have a nice. Well, it's not that nice. It's a cavalry division. Okay. Let's. Further add to some. When we have an infantry division with no transport. Okay, well. Why, I don't know, but we do have this. Don't have a lot of HQs over here, what do we have, or colorful ones, but we have these guys, so let's move these guys up to here. Okay, not the Marine Corps guy, but he's not otherwise a terribly bad choice. Again, not a commando. It's more airborne. Anthony, yeah, he was an airborne general. Mosolif. Okay, yeah. And now we do have, I think, this, well, okay, yeah, the Marine Division. Okay, with a historical commander. Let's drop this guy in here. And all right, let's put this together. This I need to make sure things are. Just want to down here and move this up there. There we go. Well, I don't think I need any of those. Air wings, transports. Hmm, I need to deal with all of these guys down here. And hello, fellow armchair general. Boy, hold on. Let's stop this. Starting to speak aggressively, my throat just sort of gave out there a bit. Wow. Um, yes, I'm still not awake properly. Not terribly many people here. Oh, and hello, Arno, over on YouTube. Not terribly many people here to watch gamer sleep play here, but all right, could be interesting. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that'd be good for invading some of those islands. Right. Okay, well, naval striking submarines. No, we can let you get repaired for a while. Would be funnier to watch you sleep play with a webcam on. Yeah, yeah, it might be funnier, but uh, I don't know. Maybe it would make my career, but yeah, that's not maybe the thing I want to do most. Okay. Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamers, Half Asleep Gamer, 1745 here, playing Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice. And man, I really have. It's a combination, and I still want to make a response video. I just. Things. Um, about what's going on. Some of it, I will admit, is my mismanaging it. Partially mismanaging, understanding how things have changed. Partially just mismanaging it. So yeah, but we've made some progress. We've taken Gibraltar back. We are now pushing our forces into Gibraltar. And we're going to move our fleet over to here because we're going to, hopefully before they get a chance to counterattack, withdraw much of our forces. Some of we will definitely remain here to defend Gibraltar. Oh, no, stop. I think I'm just changing my mind. This guy here, we're going to move him there because he doesn't have any transport. Oh, well, he does have wagons as transport. That'll be better as a defending unit. Where others will be better in other operations. Oh, no. Oh, we lost a torpedo boat. Now I'm having a bunch more motor torpedo boats made, so we'll get more back soon. All right, well, yeah, that I think we're gonna get out of there. Armored divisions may or may not be great for invasions. Oh well, yeah, we should. Well, that can stay, I guess. Motorized, we'll get that out. How bad it's going to get, but we'll get these 3 divisions out. And you know, the Balearic Islands might be a tasty little invasion. That could be. I mean, it's not. I know Arno wants me to do Crete because Crete's a cool island to like invade and all. But taking the Balearics out, that's something not didn't happen in World War II. But Spain wasn't active in World War II. Okay, we're gonna lose provinces there because we're no longer even there to try to hold them. Don't care enough. Okay, machine gun Cambo. Blah 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 blah. Machine gun cannon combo advance. Yes, folks, I am definitely okay. That is now maxed out. Yeah, okay. Bonus we had is gone. Hey, Paul. Good to have you here. You Dutch are kicking some butt right now. Okay. Is that World Cup? I know what's going on. I didn't know the Dutch were even in it. I don't know. I don't know how you have to. What you have to qualify to be in it? I guess. Um, but remember, everyone, I am an American, and I am also not terribly big into sport. You know, watching all the different sports stuff. I'm a war gamer. That's good. Canada naval bomber, certainly. Okay, supply organization, that will help us out. Industry, no, 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 no. Yeah, 46, stop that. Motorized HQs have advanced. Yeah, I guess we'll stop that. Twin engine pilot training. No, we should be here. And that does give us a couple of factors we can put somewhere else, which we're going to come over here, which I started to do earlier, and do these two. This is just very much America unprepared. Okay. And this is what I should have called the whole series. Now, I think these islands are unimportant. Well, yeah, I think they're so unimportant. I mean, we're going to invade them, but I don't know that we're going to garrison. Why would we invade them if we're not garrisoning them? Well, just to take them away from the enemy, to have a battle that we can pause. Okay, orange prototype. Take out the enemy forces. Take out, because we just had this battle here, 3 enemy submarines. That's useful. Take out a point of control. For some reason, they decided to land over there. Well, good. I don't. Now, okay. Oh, and armored. I've been researching these, and I have not been clicking study level HQ mode or whatever HQ finished to get the stuff on the force on the map. Partially because the reason I haven't been doing that is twofold. One, it costs small amounts of resources to accept those. So it does cost something, and two, it's not needed because I've had a lot of core HQs and others being given by events that are based in history. We also have divisional HQs stacked up here in large number, but we also have historical ones, and I just haven't been using them. Maybe I should get a few of the ones that we have here. There are a few of them gone through, but better play would expose that. But the main reason I've been studying this is to reduce time between attacks. Okay. Oh, good. We're now getting in here. They're getting supplies. They'll hold out there. Okay. Yeah, these guys have had no supplies until now. Bit there, just to try to shift the equation, as it were. You, you, here, under straight, just we are across. And I think hello on Facebook as well. Thank you, Arna. You can come down. But notice we're no longer having red triangles, which means the British are getting supplies through. Hopefully, not too huge of expensive convoys. We give them money for fuel. Okay. Air Force HQs have advanced. Another one I don't know if I do, but yeah, probably will do this one. This, I don't know. But these help, organization for air units, and this one does for naval units. So yeah, they're worth researching. Whether you normally when I play as Germany, normally I do take all of those HQs, partially because they're useful in things like rear area security on the Eastern Front. What did you do? Oh, that you said hello from Facebook, Arno. I appreciate that. That helps algorithms and things. We're going to need more transport because we're going to lose transport. So um, let's do that. And we don't have many escorts left, so let's do one escort. I mean, just because we don't have too many supplies, ICs. Did we not? Oh, what? We didn't get the. No, we didn't. For some reason, I clicked the wrong thing, I guess. Gamer, half asleep, playing. Will I win or lose better? We've had a major victory somewhere in here. I don't know if it was here or I think it was here. Yeah. Maybe just that's, I think that's what it was. Cool. I don't know. Here. What are we doing here? Good. Range navigation radar. Okay, cool. Radar for cruisers and radar for capital ships. Those are more useful, I think. These are maxed out. Well, last of those being researched. Well, we'll probably still fight in the desert for a while. And we'll probably fight more in the jungle coming up. So let's do those. Yeah, well, it looks like it's, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're getting good intel on it. We'll see. It says it's 0, but well, user can repair 6, but that may be just level 3 or level 2 or level 3. I don't know it because there's a multiplier. The way they've modified the game. Breaking the back country, the 7 Years' War in Virginia and Pennsylvania so far. Well, very good. I have um, read very little on the sort of French and Indian War slash 7 Years' War in America. Doesn't 100% line up with um, 7 Years' War in Europe, but yes, you can have energy. Bombing sites have advanced. Very good. Is that yes, over here. Very interesting time periods. You see, for some reason, Britain couldn't even, I mean, they'd retaken Dar es Salaam. I don't, maybe it was our invasion here that got Port Sudan, and we may do another naval invasion of Port Sudan that they've been unable to hold. I know they've had the sort of Portuguese war show up, but that shouldn't be terribly much. Oh, there's an Italian unit made it down here. But Italy should now be cut off from Africa again, or well, Africa entirely again. So I don't know how they get supplies. Well, oh yes, yes. Arno posted that he got the book on the Atlantic Wall, and the spokesman for the Dutch Ministry of Defense actually liked that post and whatnot. Some call it World War One. Okay. I would agree that the first war fought around the globe was the 7 Years' War. I would agree with that. But I would not call it a world war. Because what really, really counts with the First World War, and you know, obviously, none of the world wars have got 100% of even the sort of, well, I don't know, I was going to say significant, but not every, yes, Turkey, I think it was sometime in 45, declares war on Germany. Yes, they do. So technically, Turkey is in World War II. But I don't think they fought at all in World War II. And I'm pretty sure Brazil, which did send like a brigade strength unit, that there was a couple of heroic battles fought, and one very small, or small action but very heroic, holding out and bayonet charge and whatnot against the Germans by Brazilian forces. And it was sort of the cream of the crop of the Brazilian army, which I would take the Brazilian army as not a very good army ever, but not probably a very good army in that time. And I don't know if they had been retrained at all by the Americans, but they had been re-equipped by the Americans. So if you notice any photos of them, and I have looked a bit at it, I know we're talking about 7 Years' War, and somehow we're in Brazil in World War II. I know. Those around here are used to this. So because if you look at Brazilian army parades, they're equipped different. Photos that just because those are the photos I find are equipped differently than the Brazilian forces fighting in Europe. So they've been re-equipped by America, partially I think just to get the same ammo and whatnot. And so you might as well wear American jackets and American boots and American helmets. They're as good or better than the Brazilian ones with Brazilian patches on them and all that. But and so they were official Brazilian units. And I don't know if they had any significant. I'm sure they had training on how to use the M1 Garand and whatnot, which is different than their standard bolt-action rifles, because I think they use some Mauser derivative weapons. No, they get equipped, especially after the war, with a lot of World War II surplus. But for World War II, Brazil actually fights in, I would say, more than Mexico, who also does join in World War II. And it's sort of, let's see, Argentina doesn't go into World War II. Chile eventually comes in. Brazil comes in, but probably more than half of South or Latin America, South America, because come up in Central America, do not come into World War II. But basically all of Africa. I mean, Liberia, I don't know if it actually does enter. And obviously Ethiopia is in the war as well, and all the rest, of course, of Africa is part of. Well, I guess Portuguese Africa is not historically, but the rest of Africa is in World War II, and which places like Iran, which is not in World War One, is in World War II in the sense that it's occupied by Soviets and British. So, but in World War One, you do have Japan and China actively coming into the war. China besieges and takes Qingdao, or however you pronounce it. There's different things, different spellings of pronouncing. I don't know. The German enclave there, and of course the Japanese scoop up a bunch of German-owned islands out here, and the Australians fight the Germans here. And China, I think it's like 10 to 20,000 soldiers China sends to Europe. Now, I don't even know if they're sent with guns. They don't go anywhere near the front. I don't think there's any thought of having those soldiers at the front. They're just used as 10,000 or whatever, 20,000, I don't know, big bunch of lift and carry people, loading and unloading trains, which is an important job because it logistically needs to be done. And you just have just enough people around that can presumably speak French and Chinese to translate and get the orders on what's going on. Unload that train and stack the boxes over here or whatever. And so so they don't see outside of China, they don't see any ground combat in World War II. So you do have those important and large nations that are actively in the war as combatant nations. So we do just barely, I would say, truly call World War One a world war. World War II more so, like I say, because you have there's princely states or whatever that might have been neutral, and Tibet would be considered neutral. But like I say, Iran gets occupied, so that's in the war. Turkey joins at the last minute. Spain and Portugal stay out. Yeah, Portugal does come in World War One. Ireland stays out of World War II. It is in World War One. So you go back and forth on some of these things. And of course, in World War One, you have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands, and other places around Europe like Spain stay out of it. So I do totally agree that World War One and World War II should be called world wars. The 7 Years' War is just fought globally in the sense that there are colonies fighting colonies, like in India between the French and the British, and there's other little skirmishes, ships around in some of these places. But I'm going to have to go, it's the first war fought globally in all the major continents, if you will. But I would not really call it a world war. It's set in there. First war to involve forces in the New World and the Old World that was fought in their colonies and overseas. There were earlier ones. You can, Britain taking Jamaica, um, which happened well before that time. Um, it's gamer. If you take all of the ports in East Africa, will the Italians starve? Um, well, I'm not absolutely sure on this one little piece of land, but I think basically Suez Canal is closed to the Egyptians, and Straits of Gibraltar is closed to the Egyptians. So I don't know how they've been able to get supplies all this time, because earlier on, Britain, we had these conditions happen, and they couldn't get supplies out. I think there is an event that periodically fires that dumps supplies down here, because I can't see how they're not starving. I literally can't see how they're not starving. Um, I've taken at least twice. I've taken Port Sudan, um, and because Britain was not supplying it well enough, I withdrew my forces. But and I can't supply it, so I don't quite understand how they're running supplies, because now these guys down here, because we've cut them off, and there's a artificial barrier here, because otherwise the AI just really f's things up. So we have a hard cut somewhere in here that you can't go through. So you can control like Port Sudan, but it's a couple of these in here that go across here that artificially you could come up through. If some of these deserts, I could agree that maybe our infrastructure too low to get through, but you should be able to come up through this the Nile well enough to supply and move forces. But the AI just messes that up. And hello, Lord Dark. Oh, we promotion thing. Yeah, there's a bot over. Okay, you've deleted it already. I see over on Twitch. Thank you. Yeah, at least it's not one of the other types of things. So yeah, no, it's the 7 Years' War is very interesting, because yes, you do have the various Caribbean Spanish versus English wars prior, but it's the big one, the first globally fought war, I would agree. And the Napoleonic Wars are also globally fought, and you don't get the Russians involved. I'm pretty sure in the War of American Independence, and the sort of successor war that is globally fought as well between the British and the Dutch and the French and the Spanish on the other side against the British. So yes, okay. So we won Mallorca. We're gonna come down here. I guess there's a transport unit or something sitting over Ibiza. We're gonna take that out. So at least Arno got to do something today. Not to ban. Okay, yes, you can have energy. Venezuela fuel. How much money we're getting at? 26. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna accept that. We may cheat in some more fuel at some point. Don't like cheating in, but when things are as messed up as I think this is, it's either start over or quit. And I don't. Okay. Bomber crew layout. That's it. There we go. Layout. Oh, we haven't got any airborne units yet, even in production. So it's. Oh, we can do combined arms coordination. Good that we want to. So what I hope is my plans here is, as we are seeing, the Italians are okay. Well, no. Well, yeah, we're gonna continue with you. You guys cross the Nile there. we're going to continue with the helping the British push down here. Okay, we've got that province. And once we do that, we're going to free up all of these forces here, which these are just the ones that I grabbed here are the American divisions. That's a lot of divisions. Then we'll be starting, or well, continuing, I should say. Okay, we're here. Now let's attack. Oh, that's a second invasion. Okay, well, since that's a second invasion, let's come over here. Now, we got all of these guys, because I forgot all, okay, a rebase a carrier. Can you guys all go with a carrier? Okay, we've got all of these carriers, no rest of fleet. I lost. Yeah, I just forgot they were there. Okay, well, let's head to Pearl, I think. Yeah, okay. We can add the destroyers there. We're going to send the motor torpedo boats. So we're going to add these carriers to one of the fleets out here, I think, instead of trying to make an independent fleet. Yeah, let's send you there. I could be useful in the Mediterranean, but I don't think we're going to put that there just yet. Okay, Special Forces branch upgrade, that is here and grayed out, good. Not ready to do 46 technologies, but we could do 45s. But first, I think we should do some more naval stuff to get naval air to get these guys even better. I think for the moment we're going to leave these guys we're gonna leave these unoccupied. This is much more important to defend, and we got 5 divisions there. I just don't want to lose it against any attack. Probably don't need 5. Probably 4 would be fine. The reason I believe the British lost is they kept like, oh, we could go to Algeciras or whatever, however you pronounce this way, or wherever was weak enough that either they saw that there was holes or that there was weak enough to defend it, they would attack out, or there was other Commonwealth invasion like Cadiz or some other place, and then they would come out and form a pocket, and then they get pushed back in. So the forces that would return would be under strength and lower of organization. So then they get pushed and attack, and Britain probably wasn't sending enough supplies in as well. So they lost. But let's come to here. Rebase. And so I probably don't need quite, because I'm not going to do that with these forces, quite as bad a situation. But I just don't want to lose it. I'd like to see Britain come back and help occupy it. Then I would withdraw some forces. 4-engine bomber, cool layout. And we can also come down here and do this other component. But since these, they hold some, and if I had more air units, I could base some stuff out of here. And Arno was wondering. So we're at port level and air base level of 3, and I think as it shows here, we can, if they were all fully up there, we could station 6 air units. So right now the air base modifier is ×2. It looks like. So you're not a terrible idea to hold this, and it isn't. But it's also, if Spain comes down and retakes it, well, it's just how whatever size of garrison come in and crush it. Again, give them money for fuel from Ireland. Thank you. No, we don't have enough compared to what we're using right now, but I do want to continue to build up some fuel. Yeah, but we're basing out of here well enough, out of Algiers or Algier. Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad place to do it, and you can still base there. Um, if we had more motor torpedo boats ready to operate, even though we're not garrisoning it, because the motor torpedo boats themselves would um, help with the stopping of invasions. Infantry branch upgrade, very good. That's that one, grayed out. These are purely for Germany. I think. Not sure what those types of torpedoes are, unless that's Japan's torpedoes. Is that the long lance? Oh yeah, long lance technology active. Yeah. Okay, so that's Japan's torpedoes, French Sharpies, British Mosquitoes, the rockets on the aircraft, and the British Crocodile, Soviet Katyusha, and whatnot. Okay, so, and I do like that they've done those, so let's do this. Let's increase that there. Old Malarka strategic bomber start. That's an idea, Arno. Um, that is. Let's look at. Let's. Okay, you should stop flying in repair. No, we got way too many units based here. Oh, we have some transports here. We don't need them here. Hey, you guys. You're just. I know you're gonna fly over German territory. But we're gonna do just at night. Rebase. And you have some escorts. So hopefully you won't get too badly shot up. Doing that at night. Stop. You guys also come down here. I mean, that's way more than they can base, but we can maybe base. Oh, well, I guess they're going to go whenever. It's night now. I know I'm not playing these as well as I could or as I should. I thought, oh, well, maybe that transport's British. Yeah, that transport's British. Okay. Let's move you up to here. Yeah, just so we're not overly. Hello, Jetton. Okay, Spain, really not that important because the mountains prevent a push into France. Well, um, the mountains limit the front, that's for sure. Um, because but in this game, we can get over the mountains. So, um, okay, I don't know the level of it's the level of AA here is much higher, and this is why I'm thinking about going after Spain now, because one we can, and I can look and yes, sure, over the port here in Valencia, um, we have AA, but if I look at like all these other ports around here, and even in at Madrid for night bombing, although they do have AA there, but well, we could do some of this. Some of the there's some industry around here that doesn't have any AA, so that we can do that. Yeah, it is more of a slog. Oh yeah, well we're right now on sort of an island occupation um, uh, strategy here. We're going to be taking out some islands. Oh, and I need to set up a supply route from Washington D.C. because that's the capital to Mallorca. That way, we're putting supplies into there. Oh, we're losing. Okay. So yeah, let's trade. Okay, I don't like that. Yes. Let's save the game. And I think we will end the episode here. But notice it is taking a while to save, and when you see a pop-up event without the image, that means things aren't going well for you if the image isn't existing there, because I do have a few that do know there are a few missing. But if the event image is not missing and it doesn't show up like that, that means your system's getting, I don't know, a little overdone. So when you get it like this, that it's just sitting here, just don't touch it. Let it wait. It's going to take a long time for saving. I don't quite know why it takes so long to save it. Something isn't right with it, and it's well, black ice is contributing to it, but I think it's a flaw in the Hoi 3 game system. Yeah, sort of the MacArthur strategy. Okay, now that that's saved, so and once you get that point, you just don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch anything on the computer. Just let it take its time. And so, just if you get that, do what I did. So, well, this game needs a doctor badly, but no one's gonna do it because you can't get it. You can't. What needs to be doctored, Paul, is something deep in the game, and we can't get at it. And I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody around that has um, uh, the talent to, any modder type people that have the talent to really fix it. And the Paradox people never fixed it because it's still broken. So yeah, and they're not going to go back and fix the old thing now. So unfortunately, we're stuck with this. So yeah, as I've been trying to close out this episode, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please remember to hit that like button, and of course, if you're new, please hit the subscribe button. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron. Okay, guys, I'm going to restart. Not the stream. The stream will keep going. It'll go black here. Sorry to hear about your need, Arno. So we're gonna quit. Like I say, we'll just go to black screen for mostly. Guess you'll still see the dialogue here, there, and I'll restart them. Yes. So we are restarting, and just do that. Once you get a funky save like that, it should still be good. Sometimes they'll get corrupted. Keep a bunch of older saves because once a save gets corrupted, it may load and play, but it'll never save again properly. It'll crash every time you save it if it gets corrupted. That was just I think, a slow save. I don't know what it is that it gets. Why does it get immensely slow to save? Now maybe if I went and look at the save file size, I don't Oh, I don't know what needs to be fixing, but why did now I did do one alt tab in and out, and of course I have other things playing, but I have a system superior to anything that they had when they were building the game, because computers improved since they're building the game. So why did the game, and yes, the mods add complexity and things going on, but this has been happening since I first started playing the game with any level of mods way back when, that if you play long enough, event images, when an event happens, will not load. So why is it not loading? I'm guessing it's a timing issue, because the event image is there, and if you go back and uh, reload the game and go back to another save or whatever, and manually fire that event, the event image shows up. So I'm guessing it's a request for the image request isn't fulfilled fast enough, so it says, oh well, never mind, let's just display the event without the image. And then when I try to save the game, it takes somewhere between 6 times to 10 times as long to save the game, and everything locks up, and if you mess with it, it crashes. So there may be some sort of I don't know. There's some sort of problem in the thing. So yeah, oh yeah. There's AIs running countries in the background. There's all kinds of stuff, but you open it up fresh, and it's doing better. It's not maybe perfect, but it's better. Okay. Now, you got here. Let's go. Add a division HQ there. They give it combined arms bonuses. One of these divisions might have been a better idea, but oh well. Well, let's be somewhat cautious and see if we can get something. Well, okay. You guys come down to here. Well, no, never. What we're going to do is we're just going to move the light cruiser. That'll go fast. No, I want the light cruiser. Light cruiser, come down to here. Yeah, you're probably right, Jetton, with the memory resets. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's all very logical. And I don't know whether it's simply more stress is put on the system with the mods, or whether the mods are not coded in the most optimum way, or something like that. But I bet you it's still a problem even in the base game to some degree, but not that big of a problem. And look, people, and I've mostly read about this than experienced some of this stuff. A lot of Paradox games, including with Hearts of Iron 3, have often been released as a hot mess of bugs. Some of them, my understanding, is at release date are almost unplayable. Nowadays with Paradox, they're just bland, but they're no longer crashing all the time. So whether it's bad coding or Paradox is pushing the envelope to set, yes, shall we say, doing stuff that are, you know, on the cutting edge or something. So, just things aren't all figured out yet. I don't know the answer to it, but it's a problem. And I don't know unless you look at like, yeah. Speaking of the main reasons they went to Foy 4, Well, thank you very much, Jetton. Yeah, oh yeah, no, there's good reasons for going to Hoi 4. And there's good things about the Hoi 4 game itself. There really is. It's just there's bad things about it, and they haven't. You know, quite honestly, it is. They had it prettied up for sales and multiplayer, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, they prettied it up. Well, there's prettying it up, and then there's simplifying it for a more mass audience, and I think they did both, prettying it up and simplifying it for mass audiences. But what we see, and now Paradox got lazy. I don't know if they're changing their attitude. But they finally acknowledged that, like, Imperator Rome failed. And now I like the game. And by the time that it failed and they stopped doing DLCs, it was about where it should have been at release. But Paradox, you know, you could call it what's the term I'm looking for? Their own success has caused them problems, but it's also player expectations. And although I have generally agreed and argued for that, no, they didn't, you know, and whether it's Hearts of Iron 4 or any of the other adding another digit, you know, or, you know, up the number of a game, it isn't know that they've cut out content to then greedily put it in a DLC to make more money. It's that they have to rebuild it all over again, that content, whatever the content is. But Paradox has been putting out, gotten lazy, and not managed the expectations of the players. So it's not that you have to say, at the end of EU3 with all of its DLCs, be every bit of immersive content should show up at the start of EU4. No, but they've often gone back to very, very framework of a game. And it's just, you know, a bit of a problem. Taking out stockpiling was a colossal mistake. Tactically noticed it's back in, is it back in Victi? Running out of stuff and logistics is so important in all wars. Yeah, you know, they argued, and I just was, you know, there's the big controversies over, you know, Indiana 5, the movie, and whatnot coming out. And there's been controversies over other things. A lot of these studios, whether they're game studios or movie studios, argue semantics with us. And Podcat and others literally argued semantics with us. The players. The people that fucking give them money. And I like Podcat. He seems like a nice guy. To say I've worked with him would be an overstatement, but we, you know, in the beta and whatnot, you know, just sort of, you know, hey, you might want to think about this kind of thing or whatever, you know. So I've had more input and interaction with him than your average player, I'm sure. Though I know there's people that have had much more interaction in the beta and whatnot, just because I was there reading at least the public messages within the private beta. So I know I wasn't the main guy. So sometimes when I say these things, I feel I'm overblowing my importance. But I sort of know what was going on and what's happening is my point. And no, I'm not going to say, because I'm still theoretically under NDA, not that they're going to overly care at this point. But in that, well, supply's in the game. And we're going, no, supply's not in the game. No, supply's in the game. No, we're going round and round. And what it should have been, they should have just said is, you know, we've removed supply. We now have supply effects. Okay. So now you have supply effects instead of supply. And they finally bent enough to go, oh, okay, well, we need to have oil and fuel in the game. Because at first they were going like, hey, I built these liners, and I also stockpiled all of the fuel for the entire possible lifespan of these ships. What? Well, if the ship gets sunk, you lose all of its fuel. Because you see, they literally argued that, well, you had to, because when you originally in Hawaii 4, I know I should be playing, but originally in Hawaii 4, you had to, one of the costs in building a ship, whatever ship it was, or tank, or truck, or anything, you had to have oil, because that was the fuel. Well, okay, so this ship, whatever ship it is, gets all of its fuel on board of it for this whole life of its cruising, whether it's 5 days or life of the game approximately 10 years or something, from 1936 to 1946 or something, 10 years for its full active career, whether it's like now Italy, not the only reason, but one of the reasons a lot of the major ships in the Italian Navy sat in port most of the war was a lack of fuel. The other reason is they didn't want to get sunk, still got sunk. But so, and if you sink a ship, you sink all of its fuel that was stockpiled for its whole career. That's the bullshit that they were arguing with us. It's just they were lazy. They were just fucking lazy. And they, so they finally put fuel and oil back in. So now with Hawaii 4, if I have the Italian Navy out here, all the capital ships all out running around the ocean, it's burning up my fuel supplies. It's burning that up. Where if they're all sitting peacefully in port, they're not. Now the big secret is capital ships don't burn fuel. They burn oil. So, but I guess that's a more minor situation to argue, because you don't need to refining versus filtering versus whatever. I mean, and it's not the complete refining. Fuel oil for ships is different than diesel, different than truck petrol, different than aircraft, high octane aircraft fuel. And yes, most fuel oils for ships come from refineries. Why? Because you first want to refine out the gasoline out of it and leave the heavier stuff for the ships instead of just dumping it all into the ships. So yes, you normally want to run all of the your oil through a refiner at least once, because sometimes you run it through multiple times, but run it through at least once through a refinery to refine out the kerosene, to refine out the gasoline, to refine out some of what would become, different, like propane or whatever, different gases that are actually in it. And you refine out all these different levels of stuff. And one of the levels, and sort of at the bottom of the stack, is fuel oil, whether you put it in like home heating or in ships or whatever like that. But you can literally take it straight, and that's what they did from either here or Balikpapan, Balikpapan. The Japanese could take it straight from the oil fields, because it was pure enough. It would leave burning residue, so after a while, or shall we say sooner than normal, you would have to, or you should have to eventually, but should, to keep good running, cool the engines down and get people, get people into where the oil burning areas is, and literally scrub the residue, because it's been impure stuff that would build up and cake up in there. If you've run refined oil, it'll still leave a buildup of residue in the thing, but it's much less. So it's better to refine it, but it is quite capable for months to operate it just simply straight out of the ground, if you have decent oil. If it's not like oil sands or tar sands or whatever, that wouldn't be practical. You could maybe run that more in a actual coal burning operation, but setup. But in a oil burning one, you need relatively pure oil to do it, but you can do it. So, but that's a minor issue. So they argued with us. So they finally have now come to the fuel thing. Well, supplies. It really shows up in things like tanks and artillery that were a fairly durable good. You have, right now, if I train my Panzer units or tank units or whatever, they use up tanks. Well, a lot of nations in here bought like 40, 50 tanks or 20 tanks or whatever. And they're used for a long time. And yeah, once you start putting them out on the Eastern Front, they start getting grind up in the war. But you got a whole, company or two of, I think they're the R-35s that were, made in France, bought by Poland, and evacuated at the end of the Polish campaign into Romania, turned over to Romania, and Romania used them, I think, as the R3, as a sort of presidential guard company or whatever, tank company, through to the end of the war. Now, I don't know if they ever sent any of the R-35s to the Eastern Front, but they used them for a long time. And yeah, after a while, they're way out of date, but they're still, still got a machine gun. They still got a 37 millimeter gun, so they're still usable for training up units. So they now take it. Well, the supplies. When you build a tank, it comes with all of the spare parts and all of the ammo and all of that from use. And if you train with it, use it up and you repair it. Yeah, no. And so they have supply effects in the game, but they don't have supply in the game, and they wanted to argue that with us instead of just saying no, we've removed supply is and supply is gone, and then now they have, yes, you can set up air bridges and whatnot to supply into regions, and they've improved the hell out of it. But an army sitting on division sitting along the front line with the Germans. I mean, well, with the whatever, sitting along the front lines, are using up supplies every day, eating food, using up some ammo, but going on the offensive or defensive, if there's an active, attack, are going to use up an exponentially higher grade of supplies, as we can see in the modern day situation of the war in Ukraine. So them pulling out supplies, and why they did it, of course, is because complain from players. Well, what are the biggest player complaints? Supplies. Well, that's because their supply system is so effing fucking broken in Hearts of Iron 3. That's why they got the complaints, not because they had supplies in the game. Been waiting patiently forever for a real world game, but I guess Classified and Black Hats are running the sims on their supercomputers to predict history and markets. Think tanks and their toys, yes, they have to shut the equipment down for maintenance all the time. Yes, okay. So they had to supply back into Hoi 4. The complaint started immediately in the streamer. Let's see if user. Yeah, well, I mean, so yeah, but they still haven't added properly in the supply production. They have supply effects, unless there's something that's happened that I didn't notice, but to actually have to produce supplies and not just supply effects. I know, long rant, not even for a episode. So you triggered me, Jetton. You triggered me. Yeah, I got triggered. It's fine to be triggered. It's just, means I rant. And part of it is before I get into the next episode is that there's the audience for Hearts of Iron 3 and before of war gamers. Okay, we'll call them that for lack of a better term, an audience of war gamers. The other main product lines of Paradox, CK, EU, and Vicky were wanting sort of fast-paced game of, I don't know, strategy players or something. We want to call them that. And these are two different audiences. And they made Hoi 4 for the EU crowd. And it's what I've called EU4 a lot, and I stick by the term. EU4 is, Hoi 4 is EU 20th century. That's what I call it, EU 20th century. No, you can do that. Realism is not for everyone's point taken. Yeah, and but it's also you want to use the term realism or what you want to do. It's the base level, not the added extra someday we'll do once we've done all of the important stuff, but it's starting with, oh hey, we're going to do fantasy, restore the Kaiser, so you can play as Germany and conquer the world but not be the evil ones, kind of thing. And hey, restore Constantinople is, or restore the Byzantine Empire in Hoi 4. Yeah. I mean, as additional fantasy DLCs, as a company, if I was running Paradox, maybe I would fail at it. I don't know. I'm not saying I have the talents to run a corporation like that, but just if I was sort of directing the flow of the games, yeah, I would. Quite honestly, believe me, I would go, yeah, I want more money. I like monies. And I would go, okay, well, now that we've done the all the good World War II DLCs. We've got the good base World War II DLCs. Well, what other DLCs can we make? Let's do a Restoring the Kaiser DLC. Let's doing Mars Invades DLC. Let's do Vikings Show Up. How? I don't know. Time Portal. Vikings show up and are raiding in World War II, and somehow they capture a factory to make modern rifles or something. Yeah. I'm cool with all of that. Now, as a customer, especially probably most of those, I wouldn't buy them. As a streamer, and if my audience was, I want to see you play Viking Invasion Hoi 4, I'd probably go, well, okay, you got a lot of people wanting to see that. Sure, if enough people want to see something, hey guys, as long as I generally can sort of enjoy it, I'll gladly play it for you if enough people want to see it. But as just I'm going to play it for myself, no, I'm not going to play Viking Invasion World War II. Just not going to be my thing. So cool that you can't run a sortie because the planes are down for maintenance and you have to come up with plan B. Yeah. Oh, yes. Now, at some point, how deeply do players want to dig into it? Okay, well let's get on to this. I want to make another episode here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals, and you just missed another epic gamer rant that was only on the recorded on the live version on YouTube, but not on the later to be seen version that I'm starting now. So, hey, there's reasons to either find the old live VODs or watch me live on Saturday morning, rant about things because gamer rants about stuff. If you like gamers rants, yes, I'm talking in the third person. Time to take Crete. Yes, we're getting there, Arno. We are getting there. So what we're going to do here is this, and the reason I stopped at this port because I wanted to not have the AI decide to send me hopefully through there. Let's do rebase. Okay, that's a good path. We got to go through this province, C province, anyways. Oh. And if you're new here, please lick the like button. Or everybody can lick the like button. I don't know if you've seen what happens when you do the new lick the like button on YouTube. Or if you're new, please smash the subscribe button. Battle of Zigzag. Okay, divisions under. Okay, well. Britain is doing reasonably well, though I don't trust them to do you're not totally F up here. I don't trust them. I don't trust the AI for a second. Okay, we have this HQ, U.S.A. Good. We got lots of stuff here. Let's move you up to Alexandria. Let's move you over here as well. Can't quite see. 90% chance of good results. So we'll do reorganize the War Ministry. Naval HQs. No, that's down here. You can do the yeah, we'll do that. There's just a little bit of supplies, but we'll do that. And they give them money for supplies. No. Okay, well. They got a little chewed up coming across. But we'll let them organize up a little bit more. No, we've not been port striking or anything on Crete. I don't know that it's quite worth it. Libya surplus, nice. Okay, CAS, ground crew training. Okay, that is there. We'll stop that. Yeah, okay, well, Britain's lost some major battleships. Okay, now. Oh, we should have moved its HQ. Okay, well, then I failed. Okay, well, let's start moving you this way anyways. Maybe we'll get a ship over there to do better. I don't know. We'll just send that HQ that way. We're going to, yeah, what I'm going to do is come in here and, well, let's add use maybe one division to help hold it afterwards, because it may be worth that here. We want to come with where there's the port, or near enough as it let us. Yeah. Invade from there. I don't know what the garrison, if anything, will be like, quite honestly. Oh, wish they would. Okay, small fuel tank research. Nice. I think that's, yep, grayed out. That's fine. Yes. Yeah, we'll do that a little bit. More submarines, sure. Okay, well, see, now they're attacking my divisions instead of me attacking their divisions. Ending. Radar guided bombs. Yeah, stop that. And that one now, okay. Well, let's come and continue to do some of those. Quite a wallop on shore. Yep, I'm sure they would. Well, we run into a large garrison of Italian forces here, which may not be a good thing. Okay, you guys, air intercept this region. You guys fly supply to there. You guys fly supply to there. Arno may just get our whole army destroyed. Now, no, I didn't do proper reconnaissance beforehand. But still. I guess so. Yeah, that's a fairly large chunk of divisions there. If they have aircraft nearby to fly some supplies in, and some aircraft to escort them. Okay, well. Can attack here with these guys. These guys can push here. You guys can, I guess, start heading back here. Units, start heading back out. Yeah, we're blaming Arno if we lose here. He said it was time to invade. Blame Arno if we lose. I'm not sure that we're going to lose, but we're going to blame you if we do. Okay, pause. So it looks like this one here Just won its battle. Oh no, they're attacking again. Oh, another bomb. Oh, it's retreating. Oh, they're attacking from this side. Okay, well, yes, you can retreat and take that. I want to take that airbase out. I didn't realize that that was actually connected there. Okay, small warship surface radar. No, that is somewhere here, I think. Yeah, 46. Stop that. We're still just in 44. Advanced gyroscopic sight. There we go. Yep, I think we're going to continue down here. Those are good, and we're going to start up on well, these guys are no attack. So I don't know what shape these guys are in. They're just Italian, so long as we can be on the offensive. Okay, medium armored designs have improved. Very nice, and yes, grayed out. High velocity again. Pretend we're Germans. Okay, what does this look like? Okay, well, lots of divisions here. Yeah, money, boo, money, they're doing money, but whatever. Okay, single engine armament research advance. Waiting on the engine there. I think we can start doing some of that. Let's come down here. Well, you split your forces just to keep putting pressure everywhere. I don't know. Let's do that. Let's send you guys pushing down this way, and you guys coming back towards American territory. Oh, oh no, okay. And we also need the big red one. Okay, well, we got that. Okay, you guys turn around, and you guys come and help on that attack. Well, if we win here, we take out a bunch of Italian forces, and that's good. Okay, here, these guys are still, okay, well, their port is, or their air base is too small. Right, okay, what we need to do here is, let's look at the resource map. Looking for, okay, There, we want to strategically bomb at night. And we can bomb aggressively. And here, let's, in Cartagena, let's also strategic bombing at night. And yes, aggressively. A little bit small first. Okay, yes, sure. Self-propelled artillery brigades, which I don't think we have any actually yet, but, well, we may get some someday. Well, the battle. Don't know how. And crude oil for money, certainly. You can have all the crude oil you want. It's fuel that I have problems with. Okay, yes, mechanized force, semi-motorized infantry. We want to clean up as much of Africa as we can for the British so that they can then go clean up other parts of Africa. Venezuela, no thank you. Got enough money. Okay, it looks like we're going to do okay here against these Italians. And Australia wants another submarine. We're good. You can build one. We'll let you use our designs. Okay, well, you're defending there. Okay, good. You can head back towards here. Okay, I think we're going to be okay, Arnold. Arno, I think you're not going to get any massive blame for this because I don't think anything's going to go too terribly wrong. We're going to put these guys on board ship and we're going to do a naval invasion here. Don't know if it'll put us on the beaches where we already occupy or do a direct assault. Either way, I guess I'm relatively happy. And I would say this is mostly reinforcing reasonable success. And they're trying to bomb us, but I think with our CAG groups there, we're going to fight off the bombers, okay? At least I hope so. Okay, yeah, you push from that side. Yes, okay, Arno's a great gen. Good thing. Good thing to know. Yes, I've been sort of ignoring. Why do they not have supplies? Sort of ignoring some of this just because other things happening. Spruance and let's see. Yeah, let's put do 4 destroyers. I know it's a light covering, but I'm planning on adding these guys to some of the other fleets out there. And a light cruiser. That's just to give it enough of a fleet to hopefully make it out here alive. Okay, yeah, I think this is where we want to go with this. We may move one of the lighter carriers over to this other group here. Okay, you're here out here now. Okay, good. Yes, patrol aggressive. There we go. Carrier with nothing but fighters would stop that during your short party. Um, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think these guys, these carrier air groups, which are considered a mix of fighters and bombers. We can see Volt, F4U D1s, those are the Corsairs, the Grumman TBMs, or um, TBFs, I think, and then they get renamed to TBMs. Was it Grumman? There you go. And Curtis SB2Cs, which I'm surprised would still be, yeah, maybe using those. I don't know. But yeah. Proper deal has expired. Okay. Nope. Are we really that? Oh, we're down to just like one division there. Okay, good. Yes, Arno's greatness is showing through. We would give them money for fuel. Okay, yes, we'll do that. Twin engine armament research, grayed out, and what are we doing now? Okay. There we go. Arno's right. Arno's proven right. It was time to invade. Now, I think a bunch of those divisions shattered and went back to Rome as shattered divisions so that we may face them again, but at least we shattered them. Oh, hold on. You guys, you're going to rebase to there, and we're going to, yeah, let's just rebase to here, and then I think we'll withdraw much of the forces, not all, but much. Yes. I think we're going to also see about taking out Crete. Don't know what'll be on, or not Crete. We were on Crete. Cyprus. Okay. South Africa. What is South Africa? Money for fuel. Okay, well, fine. I know we don't have enough, but they're pushing there. Okay. Yep, Britain, we're withdrawing our forces. Hopefully you like that. Do the job, it turns out. Dauntless, yeah, the Dauntlesses are not bad. I do like the TBS better. Copper surplus, fine. We'll probably lose it with a trade deal that we'll do. Slope armor advance, very nice. That's going to help us a lot. That would be maxed out there. So we've got a slopiness of slope we can do with armor. So let's see if there's anything. Oh, we got some light cruisers and some fighters ready to go. And some naval bombers and whatnot. Good. Let's look here. Okay, we're into this secondary bunch of. Well, I could use a couple of transport planes, I think. More fighters. We could use more fighters. And we could use some more subs. Because Paul the other day was saying I should put a bunch of subs out running out of Subic, etc., in the Philippines. but quite honestly, I just don't really have the reserve of them. I might be able to better organize my fleet and get them from doing something not terribly useful, do something useful, but yeah, I'm not necessarily going to slow down that much to do that. I want to see what we can do here to get these guys out of here if they're ready for another invasion. Hopefully we can launch our invasion from over here where we're well supplied. I remember when I played the German campaign, I had more Stukas and Heinkels than anything else in the end. Yeah, not that that's a bad thing if you're controlling the air, but it's a bad thing if the Allies are controlling the air and you're trying to keep them off of you. Now, mentioning all of that, okay, I did put down here to fighters get organized. Let's see about dropping in those. All right, and let's. No, I ought to put Doolittle in charge of some of these other bombing units. That's what I should do. Okay, skill. Just generic, I guess. Let them organize up. Okay, we have these. I think we want to put these in the Mediterranean. They may have been originally ideated for going to the Pacific, but Mediterranean it shall be. It's a generic one. Not that we can't change our mind and send them in the other direction, but just to help control the Mediterranean. Now, I think all these light cruisers. Well, let's stick one in the Atlantic. We can reinforce our fleet in the Mediterranean or somewhere. The other three will go to the Pacific. Yeah, we got these guys. Okay. Yeah. So we got some light cruisers now. This was the other thing I wanted to sort of arm up here. And so he's most efficient at that. All right, well, you come over here with your liners. We may add a few more liners and some of those light cruisers to better escort out some of these divisions into the Pacific. We don't want to lose either the combat ships or otherwise. Okay, well, you keep pushing here. You can keep pushing here. That's a lot of U-boats. Now let's stop the air supply. These guys are air supplying, but I think hopefully we have enough supplies there. We'll put these guys out here as air interceptors to go after any of these Italian aircraft they can intercept. Hopefully win the battles. Well, but maybe not. Come on, guys. Get into port. Get into port. I want to get that fleet out of there. Okay, aero engine research. Good. Which allows us to do single engine fighter. To do. And land-based air warning, which I think is up here. Yes, 48. Yeah, that's way too far in advance. So let's see here. Yeah, the close air support will do that. A little ahead of schedule, but that's fine. Okay. The divisions that I really want to go, okay, get on board. Come back to here. Rebase to here. Twin engine airframe research. Okay, oh no. Grayed out. We can do this. That's weak. We're gonna be. I'm happy to hit that. Well, looks like it left. No. Hey, wow. Coastal battleship got sunk there. I think the motor torpedo boats and other bombers and things. Those motor torpedo boats are really wicked in this version of the game. And they were actually rather good in the war. It's just maybe a little OP here. It's maybe something that's tough to balance. Okay, light bomber prototypes can now be researched. Got enough of that. Let's do twin engine fighter prototype first, though. Spain is attacking us and half-heartedly. See, this is the thing is if we can see this, we don't know their organization level, but only one division looks like it's sort of messed up. Maybe that was involved in the attack on me here. And so let's see. It looks like, well, if we take the transports, that's 9 divisions here, transport units here of various types. Here is 8, and this looks, yeah, 3 here. So yeah, they can really hit hard. I don't trust the British. Oh, there's fighters over here, or enemy aircraft. But we're going to keep our forces fairly strong here to make sure we do not lose control of the straits. Well, what do we want to invade with? We'll use these 3 guys again because they have the Uber commanders with them. these guys invade up to here. Invasion, yes, very good. Okay, so they'll liberate British territory there, which is hopefully for the best. Now, I did think about the Isle of Rhodes, which is also, and I did think about, and we are going to think about Port Sudan again to try to free up a British port here to help with this god awful mess down here. Okay, tank radio communications has advanced. And let's go. Bomber stuff. Air Force wants money. What would they do with money? They don't need money. They need resources. Oh, and of course it's putting it in the wrong spot. You know, how hard you guys who are just watching later on YouTube, and I know there's many more people watch later on YouTube than watch the live show, but you missed the earlier rant. But how hard would it have been? And this, see, okay, Paradox gets a lot of complaints, and I really sort of look at this as a pendulum. Gets a lot of complaints, so it overreacts, and so the pendulum swings in the opposite direction. Okay, how? And I do know there's like manual control and auto control here, but how hard would it be to program this thing to set like any one of these here priority as being match needs, you know, so I don't need to keep seeing the little thing, oh hey, you're wasting ICs, so come down and click. And so this is the thing, this is one of the types of things that really messes people get upset about. I get upset, I love to micromanage, but I get upset about this. Why can't there just simply be, and yeah, I know I can sort of do some of this stuff, but just said, whatever this needed number is the number you duplicate here. Whatever this needed number is here, you duplicate the number over there. Why is it that it's too hard to program that as an option for any one of these things? Now, I do get it that if you don't have one that isn't it, or you've locked in it, then it would do like a percentage down from it. Like, well, hey, you only, you know, from all your needs, you only have half the ICs. Okay, so it would just do half if I just do that. But so long as I have, like I do with production here, nothing like forcing it at any particular level, just being at whatever is extra available. Whatever that number is extra available, goes into, you know, future production. Why would it have been so hard to program that? I just don't get that. And, you know, reinforcements versus upgrades. We know this is, you know, and for many of you, as well as myself, we all have complaints about Hoi 4. I was planning on playing Hoi 4 today until it was just going to be too much to try to get into the other game before starting the stream. So I just, here. I do like a lot of the improvements with Hoi 4. Upgrades. Well, for a lot of the things, upgrades really weren't much of a thing in World War II. Yeah, I forget. Sometimes some models of aircraft did get either out in the field or get sent back and did get some levels of upgrades. But you don't upgrade a Panzer II into a Panzer IV. You know, and yes, we know, and this is some of the good stuff in Hoi 4, is you can come in and take a Panzer II and turn it into, in essence, into a Marder II or a Wasp or something like that. An anti-tank gun or a self-propelled artillery piece. And those kinds of things did happen. Or you could just, produce the stuff. So some of the things, and and I get with this game mechanic that we're looking at, some of that upgrade is meant to, like, oh, well, you're turning in your Springfield rifles for Garands, or you're turning in your Mauser K9 K9 or Carabiner 98K, or to Kurtz short, your bolt action standard Mauser rifle of World War II, if I just want to say it that way, if you don't know all the numbers, for a Carabiner 43 or whatever, the final sort of production model of the semi-auto German rifle, full caliber. Yeah, okay, some of that I get that you were sort of taking one out versus the other one, but I like so much better that if you just had, bolt action rifles, take them out. That's why you have garrison units that get the older equipment. You have equipment priorities. That's, there's so much that's so good in Hoi 4, but yet there's things that just make it ugh as well. So it's a mixture of, boy, I love what they're doing. Boy, I'm just frustrated at what they're doing. And it's why I haven't fully gone over to just playing it. So yeah, upgrades and then reinforcements, we get the idea that is replacing not just, Joe Infantryman or Joe Sailor or whatever. You're also replacing, the M1 Garand that was lost or damaged when the guy gets killed, because I'm sure they recover a lot of weapons when they recover a lot of bodies. You can look around, and I do sort of at times, and find images of just stacked, piled up weapons that were captured or whatever. They definitely clean the battlefield at various levels. They definitely, before, we see the famous Ukrainian tractor recovery of tanks in Ukraine. They definitely cleaned up the battlefield if you ended up controlling the battlefield, particularly of big things like tanks and trucks that were knocked out, even if they're catastrophically knocked out, because that steel is recyclable. And it's better than trying to get more iron out of the ground and turning it into steel and then turning it into a product. So yeah, they definitely cleaned up a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff was lost. Just enough lost that it needs replacement. So I get the idea of replacements, reinforcements, whatever you want to call it, as being a thing. So but okay, so I don't mind that those two sort of elements are out of Hoi 4, in that you either have manpower in the manpower pool coming in to fulfill the need there, or you have equipment being replaced that's being damaged or lost. I just wish they had quote unquote supplies that would represent, the spare parts that are needed to repair a tank to keep it operational. We're not even necessarily talking about damage from enemy combat. It could just be, tracks wear out, replacement tracks. But replacement tracks are not replacing a transmission or an engine or a tank hull, which takes more time to produce than casting and then quickly putting together metal links for your tracks. And even when they did have to replace things like transmissions, a lot of them are just rebuilt and put back into other tanks. So they're not quite ground up as much as the game Hoi 4 wants to make it out. So it's just sort of, a little bit of a pet peeve here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So yeah. But they could, just some of this stuff that I don't know why they couldn't just make some more settings that would make people a lot less micro on this stuff. Now, okay, so we're producing some more petroleum factories. Now I'm focusing on getting these petroleum factories done. And because those are done means we have a lot of more motor torpedo boats here that we can put into the field. And we're going to get some light cruisers, heavy cruisers, battleships, more light cruisers, destroyers. Okay, let's see. Let's do 3 more destroyers just to keep those rolling. And I want to, let's do 4 more fighters because we want to control the air war over Europe. So there we go. And we can do some submarines. I don't know that we need long range though. I would consider most of the ones, the Gato and the starts with a B, the Gato class. Well, the Gato class, and then there's the Balbo or something like that class submarines. I would consider those. Okay, immediately counterattack. So we want to get the port because we're out of supplies or have to fly in supplies or other sorts of. They're attacking us down here. We should push into here. Not that they're going to be successful attacking down here. We're just. Okay, more tank factories, airfield control, aeronautic engineering. That is over here. Okay, so we now have this. This is, I believe, the main technology that gives you multipliers on how much an airbase can support. So those are good technologies to have. And so you, instead of having to build air bases everywhere or upgrade them, you may need to do somewhere. You can just continue to research that, and that will give you an improvement effectiveness. And but yeah, that's it. That's Baleo class. That's right, Paul. Yes, thank you. Good. What kind of tanks? We'll take a look at that in just a moment, Arnold. That's fine. I'm looking for cargo hold. Air launch torpedoes. We like air launch torpedoes. And current production vehicles, tanks. Oh, the Chaffee for light armor and the M47 patent tank. What, 1960 something? Yeah. Yeah. They're not well constructed model ideas of everything. So, okay. Yeah, it's not really that far advanced. It's just the way the mod is currently set up. Okay, we're securing this. I know we're going to send back this force here. Okay, well, yeah, I'll let them go get resupplied in port. Well, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I want to particularly thank Tim, Strongarm, Niagro, Timothy, Sir Toyjet, and Gary for support over on Patreon. But like I say, you just lick the like button and smash the subscribe button if you're new here. That's all I really ask from players. Oh, well, and people, of course, can post comments. That also really helps with the algorithm. So if you guys would do that for me. Otherwise, thank you so much. See you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of Iron. Okay, we're going to make another episode here. But let's just take a quick look around. What are we producing enough or overproducing it of? We're going to get ready to have to cheat in some more fuel, I think. But that has to be done other times. Okay. I got to go into it, edit a save game to get that done. Okay, that's our transport. 6DD name. Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that. And yeah, let's take just 3 of these. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so we have that. Let's grab up, well, we'll also get MacArthur. Oh, shit. Well, come down here anyways. Oh yeah, you can just transport that. That'll be fine. And you come down here. Rebase. That way we'll also bring on board the Marine Division down there. All right, let's get back to another episode here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here. And hey, you know, I really want to thank Tim, Strongarm, Niagro, Timothy, Sir Toyjet, and Gary for support over on Patreon. But everybody else watching, what I really just ask of you guys is if you can lick the like button. It's very tasty, trust me. I've licked lots of them myself. And if you're new, smash the subscribe button. And if you want to go that little extra mile, just say hi gamer down in the comments or some sort of thing like that. It helps feed the algorithm. And the more people watching, the more motivated I am to do these because, hey, you want to make these kind of things. You don't want to think that you're, talking to no one. You want to think that, hey, yeah, people love hanging out with you kind of thing. Just checking my air units. Okay. These guys, let's come over here. And we're going to sort of naval strike. A little bigger, a little bigger. There we go, that area. Organizing. These guys need to. How many can we? Okay, base those there. And they're reorganizing good. Now, we did have a couple of, a while ago, a couple of guys here. Let's. All right. All the way over here because we want to sort of control the Mediterranean. We're moving in supply ships, so we want to hunt submarines and the like. Yeah, I guess here as well, so we can operate that. 1993, the M60 was valued a cost of perfect for rush hour traffic. Yeah, forget what it was. Was it some guy stole a I don't know if it was an M48 or an M60. I think it was an M48 tank down in Southern California, down like in the San Diego area or something. And he drove it around for a while. I don't think he killed anybody. I think all the cars that he drove over were like parked cars. He couldn't get the turret turned around, and he had no ammunition. I'm not even sure if it even had the machine guns. They often take the machine guns out in storage. The main gun, they can take it out, but they don't store it outside of the gun. And of course, had no ammunition for the gun. So it's just a big armored Caterpillar tractor, literally. That's all they are. I mean, it doesn't, a tank without a gun or anything on it. Drove it around for a while. Stole it from like a National Guard base, and drove, like I say, drove it around for a day or whatever. I remember seeing live on television when he was doing it. But yeah. Um, so yeah, and then of course there's the killdozer guy who also doesn't kill anything, but he's pushed. I think he was more of a case of somebody being pushed to their extremes versus just. I think the other guy was. I don't know if he had other mental problems or just sort of decided to go for a joyride in the tank, steal it and go for a joyride. But and then of course I'm an extremist. I believe everybody should have a tank in their garage if they want to, not that they have to. Okay, now that you're resupplied up, what we're going to do is, I know we're sending you right back, but I wanted to make sure that we got some level of supply here. Because I'm planning on heading you guys down to Saudi Arabia. Down to here. Well, we have all these guys down here. Okay, well. Including some British fleets, but okay. Oh, what's going on here? Vital railway repair shops in Pennsylvania sabotage. Okay, President. Foreign agents, likely German origin, have successfully sabotaged key railway repair shops near Altona, Pennsylvania. This will greatly reduce our supply production and throughput for some time. The FBI has assured me that the manhunt for these agents will be successful in the end, we hope. Okay, so I don't. It's a cool picture. I don't think this happened. I mean, there was some attempts at this stuff. I like old movies. And to me, old movies are stuff from like the 1950s and before. But I know to you, old movies are things in the 1990s, and to me, those are just, yeah, they're not the most newest movies, but whatever. I've watched a lot of movies made during World War II. Yes, mostly in English, so they're, British or American made, though a few others. But there are lots of dramas based around the idea of, hunting for saboteurs kind of thing. What is it called? Remember the Night or something like that, starring Humphrey Bogart. That's a fun one. And so there was definitely, I would say quite honestly, and no, I wasn't alive then, and I don't know, but I would say it's halfway between Hollywood wanting to create a good dramatic story, fictional type story, halfway between that, and halfway between the actual expectations of society. I'm saying it that way, society meaning because whether it's the government or the man on the street and everyone in between as to, because this is, Operation Pastorius event target severely damaged. There was Operation Pistorius that they did send some spies over, but they all got rounded up quickly, and there was some stuff going on, but it wasn't nearly as big as people worried about. Because there's all these posters going around, loose lips sink ships and that kind of thing. Well, There's actually very few effective spies, even in Britain. Now, if you're commonly gossiping about something in Britain, like oh, D-Day is coming on June 6th. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's going to be in Normandy. Well, that's probably going to make it maybe, I don't know, to the Irish press or something like that. And there's a German embassy that's functioning in Ireland. So, yeah, like if everybody on the street knows that, when D-Day is happening and it's going to be in Normandy, that would probably get to the Germans. But my understanding of the situation is that in North America, if they freaking published the sailing times and routes of the convoys, at least on the Germans had, there was virtually nobody there to read this stuff. I do know that sort of to back some of this stuff up, I forget what it was, but it was something regarding Japan, like some planned invasion or something that was published like in a Chicago or a Detroit newspaper. Now they quickly, this gets through some of the censors or whatever, but the actual censors do sort of realize it, and they quickly go in and they go scoop up all the papers. But I don't know if they figure the number, but at least in the hundreds of newspapers that they don't scoop up, and that they already, then it's pretty quick, within hours, not days, but within hours of realizing that this is a problem. They rush around to all the newsstands of this particular paper and, grab up all the copies as quickly as they can. But, in the hundreds, if not low thousands, it gets out to the public, but nobody's around that's Japanese or talking to any Japanese intelligence sources that ever gets this information out. So it's shared, that, they're going to be invading Tarawa next or whatever it was. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't really affect things. So the spy levels are actually fairly low. The sabotage levels, you can still see if you go to the right spots, but because I've been there and hadn't noticed. But there are still bunkers that they put up and around Boulder Dam here, or Hoover Dam, however you want to say it. It's both the Colorado River, Boulder Dam, and Hoover Dam sort of have both those names. Hoover after the president, Boulder after the location. That they have set up here, but up on the side, up over here, like machine gun bunker kind of things to keep this from sabotage. They really did. And there's one, I don't know if it's one that's starring Alan Ladd or one other movie. No, it's not. It's not Alan Ladd. It's another actor that you actually, they show in the movie. I don't know that it's accurate, but they show in the sort of the process that this is also, a roadway, sort of like a bridge going across. You drive, still to this day, to get across the river. That they would inspect every vehicle, car, truck going along here. And they had police presences that they were doing. And I don't think it's inaccurate in the general picture of how much they were inspecting. And this is, of course, set in 1941 or 42, fairly early in the war. And so, I don't know how much they were still guarding it in 1945 or something, but they took it seriously as if there might be serious sabotage, and had probably a battalion or more of soldiers sitting around here and a bunch of police and whatnot inspecting every single vehicle going back and forth. So they're, and now this is a particularly critical resource, or however you want to say it, because it generates huge amounts of power. If you were to pop the dam, yeah, you might kill. The explosion to pop the dam is dam busters. Oh, hey Eric, how you doing? Dam busters, 3 or 4 times over more, to really bust this. This is a much bigger dam. Though you could sabotage the electrical generations or something like that in it. That would be affecting that. But to get the whole thing to spill over down here, there's not that many people living below the Colorado River out there because it's pretty damn deserty. So that wouldn't really like we're in the Ruhr where they pop dam busters. They flood out a bunch of mines and a bunch of other factories and whatnot with that. And I don't know how many people die in the flood. I presume some. I don't know whether it would be considered a lot or a few. I don't know. But they just also, because I remember seeing some photos after, or photos or video or whatever, or, film at the time, but modern video of the sort of effects in the downstream from the dam that they bust there. But that's a dam in and near a bunch of industry, and there is no industry. There's nothing out here. To the north of it is Las Vegas, and Las Vegas grows up mostly because of support for the dam building of it at the time, and then getting electricity later on. So they're actually, that to this day, sending a lot of electricity, and set up at this time down into LA area from it. They got lines coming over there, so that would affect power over here if they took it out. So yeah, it's a critical resource. But then again, do realize it's going to be pretty hard for Japanese agents to get in here and damage it, but they're worried. But they're worried at all kinds of levels here, and it just really never materializes. The Germans and the Japanese and the Italians are just never able to effectively come in. So it's something to be concerned about. I'm not saying they wasted time and effort being concerned about it, but they also wasted time and effort being concerned about it in the sense that they overdid it. A certain level, yeah, they needed to do. And of course, at the time, you don't know. Do we need one night watchman with a flashlight, just hanging out there, or do we need 20 guys with Thompson submachine guns there to protect whatever from enemy sabotage? Or is it just like, oh well, we don't want our our some crooks to steal something, so we just need a night watchman there, and sort of looking out, and it's that kind of questions. Okay, well, I think we're going to continue using our strike force here just because it's working out well. This is a British island. I don't know that the Italians are going to come back, so we're going to head down to here to rebase, because we're going to invade over to here to try to give this back to Britain here. Okay, mountain unit training advanced. Very good. That is here. Cancel that. Mid-air refueling. Okay. That's the one we can do. Oh, it was this one we got done, right? And yeah, we're not up there to do that yet. Oh, that other one was fighter ground control. That's it. Yeah, I guess we can continue that now. Those two. Okay, so we've captured a major Greek island. We've captured a couple of Spanish islands. We've liberated Cyprus. Now, I found it interesting. I didn't know this. I learned this just a few years ago. But there used to be, and I knew this for a long time, there used to be a lot of copper mines on Cyprus. There's, I think, very little nowadays. And copper was a very, very important metal, even after iron was, learned how to properly smelt and use iron. Copper was still, and it still is, obviously, we still use it a lot industrially. But copper was super important back then. So they mined it heavily in copper. In Cyprus, the copper from there. Well, the atomic, on the periodic tables, it's Cu for copper, and that is coming from Cyprus, the Cu and its setup, so that the island or the island's name, I'm not sure whether the island's name is named after early words for copper or whether copper is named after the island, if you will, from Cyprus. That I know Cyprus and copper sound very different, but it goes back that far in Latin or Greek or whatever. So it's very old. Just sort of bit of trivia here. Infantry radio communications 46. Stop that. Okay. We can do 45 there for the airborne radio and para HQ. Let's stop that for the moment. Let's come over to here. Let's do that. I just find it extremely interesting about how things like that from literally thousands of years ago are still in our society and culture to this day. Okay, well, we took out another Japanese destroyer here, which is good. We've got lots of motor torpedo boats. Yes, I sort of knew that they were there. Marine HQs have advanced. Good. Here and do that. Yes. Material. Well, I want to use these guys, I think, mostly in the Mediterranean because they've been being very effective and they're short range so that they'll be able to operate in that environment. They did do lots of motor torpedo boats in the Mediterranean and too historically. Britain and America and Italy and in Germany as well. Now let's I think we're going to do no leaders in these guys. I think we're going to take all of these guys and send them over because we want to add the CL to something else. So let's rebase all of these guys to there. It may have made it. I don't know. Let's see. Yep. Okay, we have the Saratoga Enterprise and the Ranger here with a destroyer light cruiser. So what I want to do here is do, well, let's just hit R. Okay, let's give it another light cruiser. No, wrong button got hit. Light cruiser. Destroyer. Got a bunch of destroyers. So let's see about doing two more. I'm thinking about this. These guys could use a second light cruiser. So let's. We've got 3 standard carriers. I mean, second light carrier. These guys can come up to here. Hopefully, there's enough motor torpedo boats and other things zipping around that they don't need to be directly escorted. Mountain HQs have advanced. All right. Oh, all of these guys get back on board your ships, yes, and invade there. It's going to be overkill, but that's fine to do that. Overkilling is fine. Broadcasting has advanced, very nice. Yeah, stop that. Oh, we could do first aid. That'll help with the casualty trip back. Let's. No, there's some battalions out here. Oh, well, there we go. Submarine. Okay, let's see if we can take them out. Oh, we got 2 submarines. Cool. And what have we got in here? Okay, just a colonial cavalry thing or something. Logistical warfare. Okay, that's cutting down my ICs, which is not nice, but it's helping supply throughput. Now, this is super helpful for Germany when you're fighting deep in the Eastern Front. For us, it's helpful, but not as heavily helpful. Here, okay, yeah, 46. Yep, we want to end that. And gun position for 4-engine airplanes advance. Okay, armament. Here. Good. Yeah, we could do that. Hmm. Well, very good. And you made it back alive. Is the car still in one piece as well, Eric? Or did you, separate it out on something? Okay, well, we've got Port Sudan. Let's see if the British can supply this enough for us to rampage around for a little bit. Well, good. Good to hear. That was the positioning. Yeah. All right. Marine fire control. Okay. 48. That's way too far in the future to be currently researching. But Here looks like it's ready to move. Okay, and we have supplies, so let's go for this. Oh, Spain is hacking us into Belgium, no. Now let's move everybody down here. And let's come over here. I think they should have made it by now. Yeah. Okay, so Admiral King, the God Emperor of the United States Navy during World War II, is in charge of this. No, he should be much. Okay, so now we have two light carriers with our sort of invasion group here with 3 battleships and a heavy cruiser and some other forces, just to make sure they're not too badly damaged if attacked by whatever. And so now 3, fleet carriers and 1 light carrier, and similarly here. How did we get this guy? Why didn't we have Spruance here? No, but we're putting Spruance back in. Yeah, whatever. So similarly here, so we have 2 good carrier groups and a good invasion group, and I am not sure where we should go next, but whether we should push towards Japan if we have enough forces to do that. Oh, well, mentioning that, okay, well, that's what these guys are for here. We add add it 2 eventually. Okay, well, let's rebase to here. Hopefully that's a good enough. I know. Okay, it's coming through the north there. Yeah. Okay, hopefully that's good enough protected with 3 light cruisers, 3 destroyers. It's not a great escort, but as long as we don't run anything too big, we should be good with it. And let's see how the rest of the war is doing outside of America's main action. Germany is, well, July, August, 44. It's about where they were, maybe a little more pushed in, but not much more. Um, Finland's doing okay. Oh boy, Japan has really busted into India. That's a significant thing. Okay. Um, all right. And of course, the islands haven't changed much, but that's interesting. Maybe we do need to. Hello, John. Maybe we do need to push in on the Japanese somewhere. I don't know. Maybe Taiwan? That might be an interesting idea once we get the additional divisions there. Haiti. What does Haiti want? Yes. By mercenary unit. Not now. 4-engine bomb by advanced. Which will allow us to do Grand Slam if we want to. Sea attack, but no, we don't use either of those really for sea attack. Bunker penetration bomb. Soft attack, that's decent, so we'll do that. Okay, guys. Well, Expeditionary Force, yes. Well, there's a bunch of them around. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. I stayed up sort of late last night. Don't know if you guys are realizing what's happening with Twitter and the expose that was put out, and they're maybe doing some more today of, I would say, government corruption. It's because the government's involved. It goes beyond it's my private company. I did notice before starting the stream, I was checking some stuff that Elon Musk did tweet that Twitter may have also interfered with the recent Brazilian election, in which there's probably going to be an effective a military coup in Brazil now. Because the fucking leftists, it probably was a close election. I don't know if Bolsonaro won or not. They're claiming corruption in a particular area with a super high turnout. Now, there may be a super high turnout of people who don't like him, but the military is sort of backing him, and I'm not following it too much. Maybe I should do some of that on my Crisis Report channel. But it looks like there might be, in essence, a military coup keeping Bolsonaro overturning these elections. And Elon Musk just said within the last, 12 hours or so, that Twitter looks like they interfered with the Brazilian elections in that they suppressed tweets, shall we say, that were pro-Bolsonaro, whatever they may be, and I don't know, and promoted tweets that were anti-him. And to the point that if you go, oh, well, they're just tweeting, opinions, and people can do this in a private company. Well, to the point that it's looked like, and we think with Facebook, but we're learning some now with Twitter, that if the algorithms thought that you were saying something that was like anti-Bolsonaro, like if you were an anti-Bolsonaro person and tweeted out, remember to go out and vote today, it's really important, your tweet would be promoted. And if you were thought to be a pro-Bolsonaro type, and I don't know this specifically on Brazil, but it's this type of thing that's going on, that if you're a pro-Bolsonaro and you tweeted the exact same thing, so presumably the people it would go out to would be pro-Bolsonaro people, it didn't go out very far. It would just, you tweeted it, but it wouldn't get spread around to your normal followers, to, it'd be suppressed to the point that it wouldn't be shown to anybody in some cases on some of the stuff. And that is election interference, okay? Whether you like or you hate a particular party, it's election interference to silence, I tweeted, go vote today. Oh, well, this guy's, liked a bunch of pro-Trump tweets, so we're not going to let anybody see that unless they specifically go to his timeline and look at tweets by me or something like that. And if somebody who's, liked Biden or Hillary Clinton, and so they go vote today, and everyone that subscribes to them or everyone that may, see on hashtag whatever, that tweet gets promoted out. Or if one of the friends likes it, because you sometimes see on Twitter, oh, hey, 2 of your friends like this tweet. And I'm like, what the hell is this tweet? I have no interest in it. But 2 of the people that follow me or I follow them like this tweet, this other random tweet, they show it to me. And not necessarily political. I'm not saying it's always political, but it's so the idea that, well, hey, if you were a, anti-Trump person and you like to go vote tweet, well, they're going to promote that out there versus if you opposite. You get what I'm saying. And so this is really, really, really concerning. Yes, once the Republicans are actually in charge, it'll be interesting. I think the Republican congressmen and their staffs are quite honestly clueless about all of these effects. If you look at their advertising, and I've worked in politics, some of you guys know that. I mean, literally worked in politics in the past. Been in office, in campaign offices for Congress, of congressmen, okay? Not just somebody who's kind of maybe wanting to be in it. So I've been there. I've done that. And a lot of this is old. And I know how out of touch some of these guys are. And they're still worrying more about sending out mailers, things through the mail, than they are worrying about social media and stuff, and they're just out of date and out of touch. But this may wake them up. So it's and it's just corruption. Whoever you want to have win is corruption, and this is what's happening in Brazil. You may go, well, we stopped Trump, and that was more important than anything else to stop Trump. Because I know a lot of people here may not like Trump. Fine, I'm not trying to convince you. Oh well, the COVID stuff, that's also another. I haven't looked at any of this stuff, worked in the lab. I don't know. I'll see this stuff. Getting to the point here. But is that, oh, well, we stopped Bolsonaro. He's lost the election. Well, now there's probably going to be a fucking military coup in Brazil. So you people, the people that want to support, well, but they're supporting the right candidates. Well, then you get military coups. And then you get people who, well, we won the election, so they start becoming terrorists and start planting bombs around Brazil or whatever. They've killed people. I've seen either video or photos of what are very apparently dead bodies in Brazil that mobs, and I think mobs on both sides, I'll say this, but I know some of them were mobs on the anti-Bolsonaro side, that mobbed killed people. People are dying over this. Now, the mobs might have happened anyways. If it was clearly a free and fair vote and Bolsonaro won, the mobs just, like you're losing a soccer match kind of thing. So these might have happened anyways. But because of this stuff, and so all of the people there that support Bolsonaro, that either believe there is actual, ballot stuffing, somebody just, and there's, fuck it, in America, in some of the elections recently, in the last 10, 15 years, that there are counties that say have 20,000 voters. Registered voters, because you have to register to vote. And they have 23, I'm just pulling these numbers out of my ass, but they have like 23,000 people that voted in the election. And so you're telling me that you've had more than 100% turnout in an election in that county. And those extra 3,000 votes were just walk in, because you can in some states, only in some states. I don't know if in this particular thing, do same-day registration, walk in, register, and vote there. Now they have to, they seal that up in a special, envelope, and with your name and all that stuff is the way it's supposed to be done. And then they're supposed to check to see if you're registered in that state. I don't know that they can check other states. So presumably, like if you've moved states and you're in a new state and you didn't realize and you wanted to same-day register, but go and make sure you're not registered in another county or whatever in that state. And so you can do same-day registration. And you're supposed to, with that, check the information out and do that stuff, whether they're doing it or not. I don't think they're checking it out. They're just presuming that these people aren't lying. And so now, and so far, Americans are losing trust in their elections. Brazil doesn't have trust in its elections, and I know the history of Latin America probably better than most of you. I know there's a few maybe Latin Americans watching my stuff, and you know it better than me. But I did take, the head of my political science department, which I knew well, and he was a leftist. He was a Latin American specialist and a very good teacher, even though he was a leftist, way back when I was in university days. I took a bunch of courses with him, so I knew the head of the department quite well because I was as boisterous as you might imagine, and as well informed, which was more than most of the students just absorbing knowledge about things in Latin America. And I knew people who literally fought in Latin America at the time, that people that were fighting in Central America and other places and involved in things. I'm not going to say they were in death squads or anything. I don't know. But they were literally fighting down there in El Salvador and other places. So I knew people and talked to them. I knew people that had gone and were literally showing me footage that, videotape footage that they had taken of the Contras inside of Nicaragua during this stuff, that literally, personal showings and whatnot. So I was involved in that stuff when I was in college. I know I'm not going down to Latin America, but just knowing people and dealing with stuff. So I had a lot more knowledge of what's going on in Latin America than the rest of the students. So the professor knew I was, an opponent of his viewpoint, but he also knew that I was very well informed and did very well in his courses. So I do have, and a lot of the knowledge that I had is faded from, either my personal experience knowledge or reading, the books for the university courses, upper division political science courses for Latin America and whatnot. So I wouldn't do well on a trivia test or whatever right now on it, but I do know that there's lots of coups and lots of stuff going on. So you had what had been a somewhat trusted election system in Brazil coming out. And then you have this situation with one particular area in Brazil that definitely does have a higher percentage of leftists in it, going overwhelmingly anti-Bolsonaro, to the point that it is beyond what most statistic people would believe is possible. Now, sometimes you can go beyond what statistics says is possible and actually be real. But more than likely, it means corruption. And it's a close election anyway. And now with this information and Elon Musk confirming, and Elon Musk is, as he said, and I know I'm on a rant here, but has said he has been a lifelong independent who, up until this just a few months ago, had always voted Democratic in every single election. So he is no right-winger, whatever you want to call him. He has been an independent, which I don't know why, I understand why people are, not joining a party here in America and just independent. But I don't know particularly why he is an independent, whether it was a business decision or a political, decision or whatever, because sometimes it's better if you're going to be doing business, like doing rocket ships or whatever, better to be an independent. So if you're dealing with a Republican government or a Democratic government, you're not seen as like one of the enemy people that he is now by the Democrats. So you can do business, so there's reasons to just be, and from a business side, and you don't have to, and he could be lying about his voting record because there's no history of the voting record, just maybe that he voted, but that's a record in America that you get recorded that you voted, but not what's on your ballot, just that you voted. So he may be lying, but we know you can look up his registration status if you dig into it, because that's all public record, and you can look up at what elections he voted in, and whether by mail or by in person. You get all that information, but not how he voted. But he's stated he has been an independent who's always voted Democratic, so he is no right winger. And here he is coming out and confirming that Twitter, so probably Facebook and probably others, have swayed heavily most recently the Bolsonaro election. So that is going to give a lot of the people, whether it's judges, whether it's the army, whether it's the police, to either throw out this election and hold a new election, or just simply go, hey, Bolsonaro, he's now president for life. So now you've taken what had been a somewhat democratic. Okay, John, I don't know if my politics is scaring you off here, but have a good day. Oh, let me save the game. Yes, please do. Save the game. Yeah, I'll save it another time if I have. And so you're going to have a military coup probably, in essence, but instead of putting the generals in charge, it will be to keep the current president in charge. So in trying to do this stuff, so you've probably had corruption locally in Brazil, and according to Elon, you've had collusion with maybe not the government, but I think it is with elements of the government in the local government in the particular region, because Brazil is a bit of a federal state, and so local government people that are anti-Bolsonaro in the Rio de Janeiro area or wherever, collusion with them and that party against Bolsonaro to throw the election in a different direction. Was it, how much did it affect the outcome? I don't know. But the mere fact that they did it, you're probably going to have a coup, which is not a good thing. And so they're doing this stuff. That's sort of why I was up late last night, and I'm just right now, quite honestly, quite tired. And I'm having I know once I start getting ranting, I wake up a bit, but I'm just having a little bit tired of staying up with all of this. So I'm going to end this here. I know it's 40 minutes early for the live stream, but hopefully I'll be well rested and ready to come back tomorrow for War Thunder Day. And so yeah, this is a serious problem. You know, I have my political views. You watch enough of my channel, you know my political views. I am quite happy that people who disagree with me are here. I am not trying to convince everybody to think just like I do. And I even over time change my mind on either a particular issue or over, you know, topics. Now I've not moved from the, you know, far left to the far right or anything like that, but I've shifted around over the years. So I'm not trying to convince anybody to like be like me, but I'm trying to present ideas and positions. So I'm gonna, you know, end this here. Like I say, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, Jet, and thanks, John. I think you've already left. Thanks, Arno, my friend. Thanks, Eric, if you're still around. And the 15, or well, because I'm watching one of the things, the 14 other people watching in here live. So thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Be back for more things next weekend. Thanks, everyone. Bye.